So in this video I'm going to show you the best defensive formation in FIFA 21 at this moment. In my opinion, I got a lot of requests in comments to make a video about a good defensive formation. So I was trying some things out and I was thinking about myself, what are the things that that are really difficult to face when you are defending. And in my opinion, they are the midfielders. Central midfielders and the central defensive midfielders are not defending by the AI, and that's a big problem in my opinion, because you can't play a really good defensive formation. But I tried a few things out, and in my opinion, this is the best thing to do when you want to defend. But before I'm going to show you it all, I really want to ask you to drop a like under the video. I will really appreciate it if you would do that. If you're new to my channel, you can of course subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos I'm posting. I'm doing lots of tutorial videos, tactic videos like this. So if you're interested in that, make sure you will hit that subscribe button. All right, we're going to start with the formation. It's the 4-3-3 holding formation, and we're going to customize that a bit as always, because the standard formations, they all have some problems. So I like to customize them a bit. And what I'm doing here, as you can see, is putting the most defensive midfielder more back between the center backs, as you can see, not really between the center backs, a bit before them. So you can choose the role central defensive midfielder still. And why I'm doing that is because there is always a really wide gap between your midfielders and between your center backs, and most good opponents are making use of that by passing to the striker, passing back to the midfielders. And we all know, when you have the midfielders with the instruction get forward, the midfielders will go forward, and there is nothing here for the defenders. So there's always a really wide space for the attacking team to make use of this space. So I was trying out with Kante, the most defensive midfielder, put him more back to cover up that space. And I'm doing the same with the central midfielders, just put them back as far as possible, but still they are a left central midfielder and a right central midfielder, because you can't do this with two central defensive midfielders. The game do not allow you to put those two further back. Then what we are doing with the right winger and the left winger is possession them more like a central midfielder on the right side and the left side, but you choose the role right midfielder, the same for the left winger, whole way back to the midfield, then a bit more to the center, and then you choose the role left midfielder, and there it is, left midfielder. All right, this is what I'm doing. This looks crazy maybe, but it's the only way. And it's not working 100% perfect still, because the game is a bit broken in my opinion with the midfielders. But this is the only way to cover up the space for your opponent to pass the ball around here. It's make it more difficult for your opponent to pass the ball around there. And I'm going to show you that with some examples, of course. But before we're going to do that, I'm going to show you the tactics that I'm using. I choose drop back, of course, and still that is not working for the midfielders. They are still not coming back. I also have an example from that. So you can see that the width is 4 bars, the depth is 4 bars. Offensive style is not that important because this is a defensive formation, of course, but I really like the fast build-up at this moment, so you can use this as a counter-attack. Alright, what we're doing with the instructions for the striker is stay central and get in behind. Then we're going to Dembele, the left midfielder. Only thing I changed is get in behind. And then here we have come back on the fence, really important. And then we're going to the right midfielder, the same thing I'm doing for them. Come back on the fence and get in behind. Then we're going to the central midfielder. What we're choosing there is balanced attack. Then here we have stay on the edge of the box for the cross and cover center. The same for Griezmann, stay on the edge and cover center. Then we have Kante, stay back while attacking and cut passing lanes are the two things that I'm changing in there. And cover center is the third one. Then we're going to the right defender, stay back while attacking. The same for the left one, stay back while attacking. So these are the instructions. Yeah, this is it for the formation, the tactics and the instructions. So This is how I'm going to play in the next match that I'm going to show you some highlights from, and I'm going to explain why I think this is really, really good. As you can see, we're playing in Division 2 at the moment, so it's not a really easy opponent 9 of them times. Then we're playing against Paris Saint-Germain. We're having some lag, and my opponent is trying to do some skill moves already with Neymar, so you're already knowing what kind of opponent you are playing against, because if they're already going to do some skill moves from the beginning, they are doing that during the whole match. But we're having a good counter-attack situation with Coman, but not a good cross, but we still have the ball whole way back to Hernandez, the right defender. Then we have Griezmann to Pogba back to Griezmann, he can shoot, and we are scoring already the first goal. And yeah, that was not what I was expecting when I was doing this, but then we are going to a defensive situation. What I'm doing 9 of 10 times is selecting one of my central midfielders, so Pogba or Griezmann, or sometimes I'm using Kante. Don't touch your defenders, only when it's really, really necessary, but not in an early stadium. Just use your midfielders. Here we having just Kante. Now we need to switch to my left defender, and look at this, Kante is in the box, and that's a really important thing in my opinion, because when Kante was posed on the default possession more forward as a normal central defensive midfielder, he would be over here. 9 of 10 times he will not be in the box, so there's an extra defender in the box in this situation, so that's pretty good. So we are able to defend here. Pogba has the ball, and then we have the fast strikers that we're having here with Coman, Mbappe in the middle. We have some lag there, of course, and Coman is scoring already that second goal. So pretty good counter attack. So from the kickoff, this was really early from the kickoff, you can see how we are possessioned, and you can see the right midfielder Coman. Normally he would stay over here, so he is a bit more back and a bit more inside. The same for Dembele, a bit more back, more inside. Then I have selected the striker, so I'm trying to put some pressure on this guy, on Verratti, to get the ball. And here we have these 3 midfielders. So the space between all players is really, really small. So it's really difficult for your opponent to pass the ball around. It is possible, of course, but there are not many options. And as you can see here, we are having already the ball. Then we have Mbappe with a poor pass, but it is what it is. Again, we need to defend. Now there is a bit more space because the wingers, the right midfield, left midfield, and the striker were already forward. Now you can see that the central midfielders are not doing anything. They are not coming back. Even with the drop back tactics, they are not coming back. Even with the come back instruction, they are not coming back. And that's why I think this is a bit broken, because it's really it's not really good a defensive formation when your midfielders are not coming back. But yeah, that is what FIFA is in this moment, so we need to deal with that, and we need to defend here ourselves. We are switching a bit, blocking the ball, the first ball, he's getting it back. We are blocking the second ball, he's getting it back, and we're getting the ball again. So there was not much we could do there. The midfielders are not coming back, because even when they are instructed to do that. I was blocking the ball 2 times, but yeah, he was lucky enough to get the ball back, and yeah, really, really lucky in that good possession. So this was our first goal again. We need to defend again, so I'm doing that with Kante, with one of the midfielders, not with the defenders, of course, and we're just trying to get the ball with Kante. Now we need to switch because Kante was out of possession, and what is a really important thing is that the right and the left defenders are already in the box, and that's because we are not playing that wide on defense. Only 4 bars of width. If you are playing wider, they will stay here and there out of the box, so you only have the 2 defenders. So you need to keep it small with 4, or if you like it even smaller, you can do 3 or 2 stars, but then they are in the box and they are there to cover the back of the center backs in these situations. Then we needed to get the ball, but we didn't. He is attacking again, finding a free player, and all we need to do is wait what he's going to do, and hopefully we can get the ball, and we have it. So we have it here with Griezmann, with Kante, Pogba to Mbappe, and now we can counter attack again, and it's a really good counter attack formation as well. Here's Griezmann passing the ball to Dembele, a bit of luck. The defender was touching it, but Dembele gets the ball, and we scored our third goal. Then from a throw in, here he's going to pass to Dembele. Dembele is really fast, of course. Going into the box, going back, pass it to Griezmann, and we scored our third goal. So we are leading with 4 against 1 with a really defensive formation, and our defense is still standing really good, as you can see here. It's really hard for the opponent to find a good passing possibility. You can pass it to this guy, but he's on the side of the field, so that's not a really good thing. I'm trying here to, he was moving this way, so I was catching up with Kante. He's turning back now, so I'm trying to cover the space with Kante. He's trying to do some combinations with passing, but again, it's really hard because there are really much players there because of the central defensive midfielder and the 2 central midfielders, and it's really hard for the opponent to pass the ball around and create a good chance. Then again, defensive situation, he is passing the ball to the striker. That is what most people are doing, passing the ball to the strikers and then waiting for the midfielders or for the wingers to move forward so you can pass. But as you can see here, how everybody is possessioned, it's really hard for my opponent to find a good passing possibility. And Kante was cutting this passing lane really good, and we having the ball, and we can counter attack again. All right, then I have a throw in, Lenglet to Griezmann, Griezmann to Dembele, so we can set up an attack here really easy. To Dembele, he was doing a good run forward. Dembele back to Kante, passing the ball around. This is what I always do, just passing the ball around, doing a good skill move, and then we scored our 5th goal. Really great formation, of a really good goal. But yeah, you can also pass the ball around with all these midfielders. You have the wingers, so you can pass the ball around and then doing a skill move to make yourself free for a shot and then scoring a goal. All right, so we win this match in Division 2 with 5-1 with a really good defensive formation, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think of it, and if you tried it out, what your results are. I'm really curious about that, of course. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.